masochism, pain, whatever you want to call it. Apparently, we hit the subathon goal, that the first one that was set out before we actually even had the subathon. So now I'm going to have to sing on stream later. That's a thing that's going to happen. But before we get into any of that pain, let's go ahead and get into the topic at hand. Dennis Prager had some very choice words to say about trans women recently, which, you know, all things considered, he says a lot of things about trans women. So this probably should surprise nobody and worry all of us. But before we get into what Dennis Prager has said, let's go ahead and get into the fan art section. So this is from Rameless. They said it's a super rough work in progress, and my second attempt ever to animate. Look at how Slime Suris jiggles in the jar. Yes, the jar. That's what I'm looking at. The jar. And you're looking at the tiny slimes on the side of my head blinking with me. That's what you're doing. Anywho, I'm going to go to the next one. The next one we have here is from Axo that has cream. Since Suris has all the net coins, I thought I would make him a slime bank to throw them all in. It says "Owo" every time anything under $1 is put in, and "Ara" anytime anything over $1 is put in. That's cute. That's cute. The last one we have here is from Aura Echoes. Said, forgot the hammer tail. So apparently it is an update on a previous piece that the hammer charm on the tail was forgotten about. Hat! It's the Slime Suris hat. Nothing but hat. As always, everybody, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop into the fan art section of the Discord. With that said, let's go ahead and get right into the topic at hand, which is Dennis Prager.
We have this wonderful young woman.
I can barely hear you, Danny Prager. So to make sure that my ears can get properly pregante with your dulcet tones, let's go ahead and raise the volume a little bit and...
We have this wonderful young woman on Tucker Carlson last night.
Mm-hmm.
She went to Mount Holyoke. $50,000 a year.
You know, I want to listen to the rest of the stuff that Dennis Prager has to say, but I don't think I can because Tasha decided that now was the right time to drop 50,001 channel points. Suris, I've got some choice words for you to read. Yeah, I'm sure you do. And the choice words are apparently "owo." Yeah, no, those are words you made me say. Are you happy? Are you proud? You saved up your channel points and you wasted it on that. Congratulations. You won an internet, I guess. I'm blowing past it. Blowing past it. So that was a choice to say, no, it wasn't.
We have this wonderful young woman on Tucker Carlson last night. She went to Mount Holyoke. $50,000 a year. All girls school. I learned something that I did not know. I wonder if you knew. I'm looking at my producer.
Okay.
That they had the girls get a special haircut. Are you aware of that? She mentioned that, and it's the second time I've heard that.
So I've been to schools that have required haircuts. For those who don't know, I went to Pensacola Christian Academy, and the haircut that was required of us at that school was a buzz cut, basically. Gwendolyn Von Holt, thank you for redeeming your points for an owl. But I am no stranger to the idea that you know, some schools just make you have a particular haircut going in. It's a type of dress code. Say what you want about how that affects kids growing up when they are forced into conformity that early, but I'm not a stranger to any of that.
Because long hair is sort of too feminine. And you don't want that. I want to discuss that with her. I think that's a very, very big deal.
So wait, she went to, what, Mount Oaks, was it?
That they had the girls. I learned something that I didn't. 50,000 a year. She went to Mount Holyoke.
Mount Holyoke. Okay, let's see if we can get some information on why they have that hairstyle real quick, just to see if Dennis Prager is lying to us. Mount Holyoke, woman's haircut. Let's take a listen here. Okay. Chop Chop, students on Moho's famous haircut. So, Sid, the snipping of scissors and a pile of hair on a dorm room floor. Why would I care about chatting with you? This is the start of a Mount Holyoke tradition. It is not listed. It is not one listed in the college's Wikipedia page, nor is it mentioned on campus tours, and it's certainly not one that every student will participate in. Wait a minute! It's not one every student will participate in? So the school doesn't even require it? Oh, is Denny is Denny Prager lying to us again? Is that a thing he's doing? But for many students, the Moho Chop is as much a part of their experience as Mountain Day or M&Cs. For some, the Moho Chop is a radical assertion of their LGBT identities, and for others, it's simply the result of taking one time-consuming shower too many. So, do I even need to read the rest of the article? Do I need to do that? We've already got the confirmation that Dennis just lied, saying that they had to get it. Let's read a little bit. Let's see what we get here. For some, the Moho Chop, we already read that. Rose Cohen said that one day she was feeling spontaneous, so she went to the Buckland bathroom with a friend, armed with a pair of scissors, and snipped off her brown hair. Cohen's friend then immediately texted Cohen's parents with a picture of the short hair, which they both really loved. Chloe Hart said that she wanted to try something different, and it was kind of peer pressure. My hair was in really bad condition, so if there was any time to cut it off, that was the time. Emma Wolf was the most dramatic chop of all. While on stage in Orientation 101, they had 15 inches of straight blonde hair chopped off. The Moho Chop was the most empowering and memorable haircut she's ever had, she said. Okay, so there's a bunch of different... I don't want to read every story of everybody who's ever gotten this haircut. So basically, this is a thing that is expected of you from your peers, but it's not mandatory for the school. It has nothing to do with that. How did he word this again?
That they had the girls get a special haircut. Are you aware of that? She mentioned that, and it's the second time I've heard that.
Okay.
Because long hair is sort of too feminine.
All right, so it's... Okay, so he didn't say it's mandatory. He didn't lie. We need to resend that. He did say they get a special haircut. That one is true. But he says that it's because long hair is too feminine. I didn't see anything about that in the article. There's nothing about it being too feminine.
And you don't want that. I want to discuss that with her. I think that's a very, very big deal. The idea that a girl should want to look attractive, God forbid even somewhat sexy, the left finds this truly vile.
What? Wait. When have the left had a problem with sexy women? There has been conversation about, say, women's representation as trophies in video games and movies, but in terms of how women act, you can't have it two ways, Dennis. You can't have it two ways. First of all, I'm just going to say something right now. Pixie cuts are hot. I love long hair, but pixie cuts are hot. Just saying. Just saying. Short hair can be fucking sexy, but none of that's important to my point. My point is, It is strange to me that someone like Dennis Prager will say that the left doesn't want women to be sexy, but at the same time will make comments about the left's obsession with promiscuity and looking too slutty. Almost as if these two beliefs are incongruent with one another. You cannot believe that people of the feminine persuasion are trying to look too sexy and also lament that the left doesn't let you look sexy. That you can't do that. That's not a thing you can do. You can't hold those two beliefs at the same time because they are incongruent with one another. And yet, Dennis is here trying desperately to hold them both at the same time. Those are words. He said them. He picked the lane. He chose both of them at the same time.
The only women they want to dress sexily are trans women.
No. Another mantra on the left is that you don't owe anyone femininity or androgyny. I will say, however, hot take, straight up hot take, if your goal is to be seen as a particular gender, then dressing as that particular gender can help you. It's not that you owe it to other people sometimes. Sometimes it is literally that this is a thing that will merely help you when you are going out. Those first impressions with people can sometimes dictate how they operate with you going forward. Is that fair? No, but it's also the reality we live in. So I would encourage trans women to go outside and look sexy, not just for the benefit of the people around you, but also a lot of times it will stop bigots from doing the bigot thing because you just don't end up on their radar at that point. But then we have Dennis here, stupidly, going like, yes, the left doesn't want cis women being sexy. They want trans women being sexy. No, Dennis. I think most of us are perfectly fine with all of them being sexy. And, of course, non-binary people being sexy as well. There are some pretty hot non-binary people. So, you know, I don't know. Just for me, I feel like this is a combination of Dennis not being able to pick a lane in other stuff he said previously, and also just flat out lying? I don't know, Dennis Prager lying to us? We've never experienced that before.
And ideally in front of kids.
And ideally, he wants trans women dressing sexily in front of kids. Or the left wants trans women dressing sexily in front of kids. So here's the thing. If we agree that we all have shared public spaces, then whether trans women dress sexily in front of kids or cis women dress sexily in front of kids, we still have women dressing sexily in front of kids. I'm going to let you know right now, I don't think anybody should give a shit about women dressing sexily around kids if their goal is not to get the kids. You walk out on a beach and everybody is dressed sexily. You go to a dance and everybody is dressed sexily. You go to a restaurant and half the people there are dressed sexily if it is late enough into the night. None of that really matters. I care not how most people dress outside. I care what their intentions are. I care what their goals are. If their goal is not seducing the kids, then I don't give a shit how they're dressed. I don't.
If you don't understand how sick the world of the left is, that's a tragedy for the country.
Boy, howdy. It's going to be a tragedy for the country when Dennis just old ages enough to where he's not able to speak into a microphone. Then again, Pat Robinson has been going strong for quite a long time, surprisingly. So, I don't know. I guess I can't really make those kind of jokes about Dennis when knowing that, you know, other voices on the right have been doing this for far longer. The left, we get demonized for things that most people don't even hold to, most people don't believe in, and yet Dennis is just like, yeah, no, we don't want cis women sexy. Oh, sure. Far be it from people on the left to want cis women to be sexy. I just don't see this as a thing. I don't. Again, yeah, there are people on the left who say, and I will say, that nobody, women, non-binary, trans, cis, etc., nobody owes you androgyny or femininity or anything. But I am also perfectly happy to say that there's nothing wrong with people dressing sexily, and in a lot of cases, it can save you an infinite amount of grief out there in the real world. Maybe that's just coming from somebody who is in the South, and I have personally seen that dressing more androgynously if you are non-binary has saved a lot of people I know from awkward conversations. Dressing more, you know, of the more feminine persuasion if you are a femme-presenting trans person, that has saved people a lot of awkward conversations, because we do have to walk out and exist with real people, and those real people have a variety of opinions, some of those opinions stupid and transphobic. But none of that's super important. The important part here is Dennis not picking his damn lane and being a dummy. Obviously, I should also point out that nobody owes you masculinity either. If I walk outside and I'm wearing just tight-fitting clothes, and somebody's like, that's really feminine, I can just be like, I don't give a shit. I don't care. So men will still lust after a woman if she's wearing a burqa? Yep. The type of clothes you decide to wear does not change the amount of people who are going to be trying to stalk after you. That is another disgusting truth of the world that I hate. I would like to live in a world where that is not the case, but I don't see that happening anytime soon, because disgusting people like Dennis Prager still live in it. So anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Hot take, I think Dennis Prager is wrong. As always, insert end video tagline here.